So we haven't really started preparing on the field, but we started preparing off the field already. One day in between is not a lot, but you've done a lot of work beforehand. So you're just trying to touch up on certain things.
Thank you, Coach. Gabriela?
Thank you for having me. Yeah, as the coach mentioned, we traveled yesterday. But mentally and physically, we know the responsibility we hold going into this game. So we've prepared as well as we can. And yeah, we're just ready for the game tomorrow and we'll give our best.
Can you do in the short time, it's a day and a bit to prepare, and how we manage that situation?
I think it's just finalizing things, working on certain things that we need to brush up on. I think that is the most important thing. There's not a lot you can do that will change things. So it's getting the analysis right and obviously working on just brushing up on certain things, because it's effectively a startup and a match day -1, so you also got to take care of that as well.
Are you guys tired?
Me, I'm not tired. Tiredness is amazing.
Thank you, Coach. Yes, Coach.
Hey, Coach. It's been a long journey for you guys at this tournament, but also a long journey for you in particular in regards to playing Nigeria. You obviously played them all the way back in the day in the 90s, and you've played them time and time again. And they're a team that were constantly your bogey team. They always beat you, and you flipped that script in the last kind of 5-6 years, starting in 2018. Have you been able to communicate to the players who are new to this team and haven't been around, aren't as experienced, just what it means for Banyana to play the Super Falcons and this fixture, which is one of the oldest grudge matches in African football?
I don't think that you need to communicate anything. It's like a Chiefs Pirates derby, where you know who you're up against. Players know the strength of Nigeria, players know who Nigeria is. So I don't think it needs any motivation. The motivation is obviously the semi-final, but I don't think it needs a motivation. As young as you are, you probably played Nigeria at the youth level as well. So you know the rivalry that there is. So I think the motivation itself is there, not just playing against Nigeria, but because it's a semi-final as well.
Thank you, Coach.
Des, I'm sure your team would have got a lot of confidence and momentum out of what happened against in the quarterfinals against Senegal, who are, of course, a team similar in some respects to Nigeria. But of course, you took a fair few knocks, physical knocks in that game. Can you give us an update on where the various aches and pains are?
Look, there's a few niggles, but I think when it comes to this stage of the tournament, when it comes to a semi-final, it's more a mental thing than anything else, because the niggles you can overcome. So the medical team has worked really well over the last 2 days to make sure that we have all the players available. But when that game comes up, when a semi-final comes up, it's mind over matter now.
Thank you, Coach. Yes, Steve.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, Gabriela. I'm Amara Oba from ECL Sports Nigeria. You defeated Nigeria in the last 2 editions of the AFCON. Is there pressure going to this game as the defending champions, seeing as we probably be the first team after Nigeria to make back-to-back AFCONs?
Look, pressure is part of the game. I think pressure happens when you get a call up to the national team, because now you're at a different level to where you are at club level. Each and every game is different. I think history doesn't mean anything in terms of winning the last 2 games against Nigeria. It's a completely different game, it's a completely different tournament. It's 3 years down the line. You don't look back, you look forward, because results in the past tells you that you can, but it doesn't mean that it will happen until you step out to the field and try to do the job. So we're not looking at past results, we're looking at the now. We know it's going to be a difficult game. Like every game at WAFCON has been difficult. I don't think there's any team. We look at the Senegal that we played. They came at a very, very difficult group. First scoreline was 4-0, but after that it was very, very close. So you underestimate the team at your own peril. You take things for granted at your own peril. And this team is a team that will never ever do that. We will make sure that we give the respect that's deserved, but we're also a team that can play.
Thank you. Yes, please.
Good morning, Coach. Susanna Mopale from Radio Now, 95.3 FM, Lagos, Nigeria. So, Coach, going by the numbers in this competition so far, Nigeria has got one of the best attack, 8 goals scored so far, 0 goals conceded, best defense in the tournament. Does this sort of pose any threat to your team?
Look, any team we play against has threats. There's no two ways about it. And Nigeria not having conceded, this obviously shows up with their defenses, and scored goals, it shows up with their attackies. We just have to be on top of our game and try to nullify those threats and take the opportunities that when they come that we do take them, because against Senegal we had a few and we didn't take them. So it's a game of 90 minutes, maybe extra time, maybe penalties, and you just have to be on top of your game because you're coming up against an opponent that's very strong. You're coming up against an opponent that hasn't conceded, that has scored goals. So we have to make sure that we have a plan A, a plan B, and a plan C.
Thank you, Coach. Question from the player, please. Yes, please.
Hello, good morning. Victor Ademola. You've watched the Nigerian team play at this competition. If you don't mind sharing your comments on the strengths and weaknesses of this Nigerian side.
Examination.
Morning. Yeah, as we know, Nigeria is not going to be an easy team to face, but neither will we. We know the rivalry, and we know the responsibility that we carry as a team. So we're just going to go out there, give our very best, make the best team win. We're not going down without a fight, though.
Thank you, Coach. Yes, please.
Was part of our squad and got injured just before, so she wouldn't be there. Look, we've been a team that has regularly, not just now, has regularly refreshed our squad. If you look at over the years, we've always brought players in. When we came to the last WAFCON, we had some players that didn't play. We had some players that were on standby that went to the World Cup. They didn't go to the WAFCON. So we've been a team that's regularly been bringing players in. Yes, it's a team in transition, but some of the players already have 20 odd caps. Some of the players have more caps over the last years that they've played. So each and every team goes through that period. We had a more established team, we had a more experienced team, but it doesn't say that this team is any less experienced because they might have less caps, but they've played over the last 3 years. Like I said, some went to the World Cup. So it's a transitional team, but it's a team that has been together for 2-3 years.
Thank you for your question. To me, yeah, as you mentioned, it is a team in transition, and yes, we do miss the likes of Tembi Katlana, but the team is more than capable. We do have players that are in positions that we know they're there. We've prepared well. We know each other's strengths and weaknesses on the field and off the field. I just think it's us having the confidence going out there and trusting each other because we'll need each other more than anything. The semi-finals, as Coach mentioned, is motivation on its own. One step closer to the final. It's not going to be an easy one, but we'll stick together as a team, trust each other's abilities, and we know that every person that steps on the field gives 100%. My first WAFCON so far has been good. I was happy to get on the score sheets as well and to get a few minutes. So yeah, just looking to make it all the way through and hopefully take a couple of goals.
Yes, please.
هذا البرنامج قدم لكم من طرف كوتي سبور. كوتي سبور منتوجة المغربية للألعاب والرياضة.
MDGS نربحوا الرياضة.